Hi, this is Alex Helmbrecht, the Sports Information Director at Chadron State College, and I'm sitting here this morning with Chadron State head football coach Jay Long. The Eagles had a successful Family Day game against Western State College, winning 45-7. Really one of those games where the Eagles scored two fast defensive touchdowns, both on long interception returns from Treland Taylor and Lane Haller, and then just controlled the game for the remainder of the way. Coach, first of all, congratulations on getting the win. You guys are now 3-1 overall, more importantly, 2-0 in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. But it was good to play like that in front of a home crowd. I'm sure it gave you guys plenty of confidence.
Yeah, the atmosphere was terrific. It was Family Day. We had a full stands, and it was awesome for our guys to be at home. And we've been doing a lot of talking about what Eagles football is about, and it was awesome for our guys to show what we're about. And that fast start we had was with the defense getting two interceptions for touchdowns was just terrific, and started us off right on the right foot.
Yeah, Treland Taylor started the Eagles off it was actually on Western's second drive, took an interception 38 yards kind of along the far sideline, made a couple guys miss. Then 2 plays later, Lane Haller on a third down picked off the Western quarterback and returned it 37 yards, really untouched alongside the near sideline. So CSC owned a 14-0 lead before Western State even had a first down, and then really poured it on in the second half. John McClain, who finished the game 15-19 for 172 yards and 3 touchdowns, lit it up in the second half. He found Nathan Ross for an 18-yard touchdown pass. Kyle Vinich for a 12-yard touchdown pass in the back of the end zone. It was Kyle Vinich's first career touchdown pass. And then Dominic Morris scored towards the end of the first half on a nice hook and ladder play. So the defense kind of stole the show in the first half. The offense was on full display in the second quarter.
When you look at it, I thought it was a great team effort. Whenever, like you said, you start off the game, 14-0, we can open things up, and you can open things up both offensively and defensively. And both our coordinators, Coach Stein and Coach Larson, both opened it up, and I thought both of them called a great game, and that allowed us to put a lot of points on the board and to hold Western to very few yards.
Now, Chadron State has recorded at least 1 interception in every game that it's played this year. It has 7 on the season. Last season, the Eagles just had 6. Coach, what's different in that secondary? Is the front 3 able to get more pressure on the quarterback, or is it just kind of a combination of the two?
Yeah, I'd say it's a combination of the two. One is that segment back there has just gotten older, and when you look at it, we probably have the most talent. We arguably in that area right there. When you look at our special teams, it's made up of our secondary. When you look at out there on the football field, we have 5 DBs out there, and all 5 of them have a ton of talent, and our playmakers. Bryce Hepner is a guy that we haven't really talked about that much, but he comes to work every single day, and he got an interception, and I think he led the team in tackles, or right there if he wasn't. And that group of guys are guys that have an opportunity to make a big play at any time.
Yeah, Bryce Hepner actually joined the Eagles as a walk-on after fall camp, his first season here, so he's really turned himself into a player. One of those guys that when you think of Chadron State football guys, you think of players like that who just develop and continually get better. He had 9 tackles, including a tackle for loss, and the third interception of the day, the other interception came from Cortland Joshua, a true freshman linebacker. There was 113 yards that were returned on interceptions, so definitely a strong defensive performance. Coach, the other thing that's important, it was a Family Day game, so there was a ton of family back. A lot of dads and moms, aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandmas were here to watch their loved ones play, and almost everyone on the team got in. You had 12 guys catch a pass. I think there were 7 different people who carried the ball. So I'm sure you're happy to see that a lot of people got action.
Yeah, when you look at it, Family Day is awesome for us, as a team, and because when you look at Chadron State football, it's the family atmosphere is what makes it so special. But as a coach, looking at it, we got an opportunity to see what our twos can do, and when you look at it, we talked about this on Sunday. When you get that opportunity to get out there, you got to make the best of it, and there were some guys that definitely came out and showed that they can play. Pat O'Boyle came out 6 for 7, managed the game with the run, which way to go, and those type of things. Another one was Taz Olson, a linebacker that he hasn't traveled yet this season, and he came out and gets 3 tackles in about 6 plays. And plays like that will get you on the bus. And that was something that that we really wanted to push and focus, was when you get that opportunity, take it and seize it. And it was good for us to get those players out there and let them play.
As Coach mentioned, Patrick O'Boyle saw the most time of his career. He's just a sophomore from Gearing, and he was 6 of 7 for 52 yards, including a 19-yard touchdown pass to Andrew Rios. It was actually the first catch of Andrew Rios' his career here at Chadron State. He's from Lexington, so there's a nice moment for those two. Coach, when you look at the stats, you're going to think that the CSC had kind of a difficult time running the ball. They didn't really. I think you finished with 129 yards on 38 carries. But offensively, passing 21 out of 26 with John McClain and Patrick O'Boyle combined, you got to be happy to see that.
Yeah, when you look at it, why the passing game was so successful is they were loading the box on us and they were bringing a ton of pressure, and which leaves open areas. And John and both Pat and John, they found those areas and had a really terrific day. And that was good for us. I thought that was good for them to have that completion rate and those type of things.
Fans of the program will also notice that last year's starting quarterback for much of the year, Brandon Gorsuch, was playing in a little bit of a different role on Saturday. He played at the H receiver. He caught a couple passes from Pat O'Boyle. He was the number 2 quarterback. Technically, he's the number 2 quarterback listed on the depth chart. I think it'd probably be safe to say that he and Pat are probably 2A and 2B, but you got to love sort of the versatility that Brandon brings to the table.
Brandon was another one that I acknowledged on Sunday. He went in as in a receiving role, and he caught some big balls. There was one that he extended a play. He caught one of our bubble screens outside, and caught it kind of funny. And he's so athletic. He got back up and got another 3-4 yards out of it, and we were allowed to get the first down out of that series because of that catch. The other part was we put him in a tight end role, and we ran at him a couple times. And I probably say that there out in the country last Saturday, there's probably very few second string quarterbacks that were that's tight end that we run the zone right at him. And but he did a great job, and he's a terrific team player and a great athlete, and we got to get him on the field, and this was an opportunity for us to do that.
And plus, it's his senior season, and I'm sure any snaps that he can get, he'll take. Coach, so you go on the road again, a familiar sort of scenario for you guys. I'm sure you're accustomed to it by now. This will be the 4th road game in 5 weeks. They're going to be at Adams State, of course. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff in Alamosa. The Grizzlies are currently 3-1 on the season, just like Chadron State, except they're 1-1 in the RMAC. They defeated Western State 43-14 a couple weeks ago. But they got thumped by CSU Pueblo, one of the top teams in Division II, last Saturday, 30-0. So I'm sure that they're entering this game probably with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, when you look at it, Adams State is a program that's been on the rise, and we've got to go out there and we've got to compete, and with it being a road game, it is what it is. When we talk to our guys about this, weekly, early, and our schedule is what it is. We can't change it, and we just can't allow it to be an excuse. And this Thursday, we're gonna get back on that bus, and really, that's probably been more of our routine than being at home. And this weekend, we had for the first time talk about our home routine, and we didn't have one, so we created one. And now we're back on the road, and we know that routine, and we're comfortable with it, and we're going to get out there and go play Eagle football and compete against a good Adams State team.
As Coach mentioned, Adams State is good. They're solid in all phases of the game. I believe this is Coach Marty Heaton's 4th or 5th season. And as Coach mentioned, they've been on the rise. They've gotten better every year. A big reason for that is they have a talented secondary. They currently lead the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference with 8 interceptions, and they also have 7 fumbles recovered. So with 15 takeaways, it's an aggressive type of defense. What are you going to have to do to get around that?
I would say that if you ask me this question every week, it's going to be relatively relatively the same. We've got to establish the line of scrimmage on offense. We've got to dictate a strong tempo on both sides of the ball, and then we got to have strong special teams play, something that will spark our offense or spark our defense and change a game. And those are the foundations of our program, and let alone we need to out hit and outwork and outplay our opponent. We do those things and we'll be fine. And when you look at this game's a big game, just like every week. It's a conference game, and for us to get our goals, we need to take this one at a time and get on that bus and get ready to go.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you there at Adams State. That is a 1 p.m. kickoff between the Eagles and the Grizzlies. Thanks.
Thank you.